You can be certain of this. The battle of our time is going to continue to be the battle between the Spirit of truth and the Father of lies. Get your coffee. The Holy Spirit in John 14 is called the Spirit of Truth. One of the things that Christians for centuries have focused on is truth. Jesus, in the brief record of his conversation with Pontius Pilate in John chapter 18, he said, "For this cause I've come into the world, that I should bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth hears my voice." To this, Pilate responded simply and perhaps curtly, "What is truth?" That's a rather postmodern question in a very pre-modern world. It sounds very much like a question you might hear today. What is truth? The philosophers, both ancient and modern, would likely say, in accordance with what is called the correspondence theory of truth, that truth is that which accords with or corresponds to reality. Aristotle put it this way in his Metaphysics: to say that which is not, and that which is not is a falsehood. Therefore, to say that which is, and that which is not, is true. This is largely for physical, tangible, and what we might call scientific truths. We believe something is true when we can test and verify that it is, that we can see that it is real and substantial with our measurements or with our senses. I believe that it is true that there is such a place as London because I have verified that it is really a place, having first been told about it by individuals I trust to be truthful, but also by verifying its existence by having lived there. Barack Obama was the 44th president of the United States. That's true. I can verify it in many different ways. It corresponds with reality. But scientific truth is not the only kind of truth. There are moral truths as well. These are statements and propositions that are true, but may not be scientifically verifiable. C.S. Lewis talks about some of these things in his book, The Abolition of Man. This is where we get into the discussion of goodness and beauty and virtue and love. Love is good. That is true. But you can't really prove that to be the case scientifically. Some other moral truths would be things like lying is bad, stealing is wrong, kindness is right, justice is good. But of course, when we get into those kind of things, you're going to be questioned on the objectivity of these truths, because we live in a postmodern society that discounts or even completely rejects the existence of objective moral values or objective moral truths, which leads to another subjective truth, now put forward as highly valued by 21st century Westerners. We normally refer to these not as scientific or moral truths, but we call it your truth. Your truth does not need to be verified or to stand up to any outside standard. It is your belief and your value as informed by your lived experience. And no one is really allowed to tell you that your truth is not true because it may be true for you, even if it's not true for anyone else. Your truth is completely subjective and does not need to accord with reality or morality. It actually doesn't even need to have any sort of perfect utility according to a pragmatic truth, another kind of truth. So, though you may be born biologically male, you are permitted to determine based upon your truth and your lived experience that you are indeed a woman. And for anyone to discount that, well, those people shall be shunned and canceled if they discount that, because you cannot speak ill of someone's lived experience. It's their truth. God's Spirit is the Spirit of truth, true truth, truth that is real and tangible and objective. And the battle of our time is going to continue to be a battle between the Spirit of truth and the Father of lies. And as people reject the Spirit of truth, God will continue to give them up to uncleanness, to the passions and lusts of their heart. to dishonor their bodies as they exchange the truth of God for a lie. Something to think about. We'll see you next time.